Introduction to HTML, Part 1. This series of videos is looking at HTML5. We need to start by having an understanding of what the structure of a tag is. A tag is what shapes and gives features and functions to the different pieces of text and elements that we add into a page. All tags have an opening tag and a closing tag. Most of them are two separate tags, but some have the closing tag, the slash, built within the tag itself, and we'll have a look at some of those shortly. Opening tags are marked by a greater than and less than bracket. So we go less than p, greater than. That's the opening, and that starts the mark of our paragraph. We close our paragraph off by going less than /p. This is a self-contained tag. In this case, HR stands for horizontal rule, a line going across the page. If you look at the structure of this tag, we have a less than bracket, HR standing for horizontal rule, and then after that we close the tag off with a / and a greater than symbol. This is a self-contained tag. Now let's look at how we actually structure an entire web page. We put a whole series of tags in there that give structure and format to the page. Our first one we put in is that we put a tag saying that this is a document type HTML. Then we add in a pair of tags. These are our HTML tags. What it tells us is this is the start of hypertext markup language and the finish of it. All of the body and the head of our web page occurs between these two tags. The next two sets of tags we put in are the head tag and the body tag. The head tag is where we place the information about the page, and the body tag is where we put all of the content we actually want to have appearing in the main browser window. Stop. Time to do some development. Open up an editor. Now the difference between an editor and a browser is that an editor allows you to manipulate the code and a browser displays the code. Our examples of browsers are things like Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Internet Explorer. Examples of editors: Dreamweaver, Coffee Cup, Brackets. Brackets is the one that we will be using most as we go through. Open up the editor and frame up the basic elements of the page. That is our document type tag, our HTML tag, our head tag, and our body tag. Make sure that all of them, except for the document type tag, have an opening and a closing tag. Let's have a closer look at tags and the structure within them. So we have the tag itself. In this case, the tag is ABBR, which is abbreviation. It will often have a number of attributes, and each of the attributes will have its own value. So in the case of an abbreviation, the abbreviation might be DR for doctor, but the value is the name that pops up when we hover over it. Tags will often have multiple attributes. In this case, we're looking at an image tag. The first attribute is src, or source. The value for this is where we are going to find that file, so it's the file location. The second one might be border. In this case, it's a border around the outside of the image. And the value might be 0, which means there's no border, or 1 or 2, or however thick you want the border in pixels. The third attribute we can see here is alt. This is the alternate text. And if you hover your mouse over it, the text that is the value for this appears in a floating yellow box on the image. So let's start to put this into practice. We're going to go between two body tags. I'm going to start putting some text tags in there. The first tag we start with is H1, or heading tag 1. Heading tags are available in sizes 1 through to 6, with 1 being the largest and 6 being the smallest. And these are just like our heading styles that we would find in a word processor. So we put in a heading tag, we open up H1, put the text we want in, and then close the tag with less than bracket /H1, close it. Then we do the same thing with a paragraph tag. We open a P tag, type in our text that we want, and close the P tag. And then we can try the same with an H2. So we're starting to build up and use these tags that are going to give us some structure as we're going through. So now let's stop, go into our editor, we're using brackets here, create our code, and then have a check in a browser and see what it looks like. Then we're going to add in another tag, which is our horizontal rule. Horizontal rule uses 3 attributes. There is the align attribute, which has the value of center. It could also be left, right, or justified. We have the width attribute, which says how wide the horizontal line is going to be. And we have the color attribute that tells us the color value of the line. Please note the spelling is the American style spelling. Add this in and then have a look at that as well.